Hello everyone, how have you all been doing? Here in the forest, I'm fully embodying a long awaited spring. It's just as magical as I've imagined and more. I hear the birds and the river rushing while my forehead burns with glow and sheds the old winter skin. I feel like I'm coming out of a dark cave after a long sleep as the day gets noticeably longer every day. Wow, it's so bright out. It's crazy, the snow hasn't melted yet, but it's like so sunny and the sun is so strong today. Wow, and it's really warm. I'm already sweating inside. So I'm starting seeds today. Last year I started kind of late, so it didn't go as well as I hoped. So this year I'm starting early so that I can get some head start on it. Yeah, so exciting. So the funny thing is, last year I was super lazy and I left all the gardening stuff outside, and of course over the winter snow and all the gardening stuff that I need right now is literally embedded in the snow, and I need to dig up and find it. Yeah, lesson learned. I think Charles Dickens captures this beautiful time perfectly in his words. It was one of those March days when the sun shines hot and the wind blows cold, when it is summer in the light and winter in the shade. I'm starting seeds for the plants that would benefit from getting a head start before they get set out in the garden. Kale, cabbage, lettuce, eggplants, bok choy, sweet pepper, spicy pepper, and a few more. It's so crazy to think that these tiny seeds eventually grow to be the head of lettuce or cabbage, or the vine of peppers, cucumbers, or eggplants. And as if it were not enough, they eventually leave us many more seeds to plant in the years ahead. This reminds me how much abundance we can enjoy on this earth and how rich we truly are. Just when I thought it wasn't going to snow anymore, early spring gifted us with a couple more snows. The dogs were very excited to see the pile of snow again, which melted very quickly the day after. During those days, I spent my time inside our home with the dogs, playing piano, having a mini worship session, cooking delicious meals, and baking sourdough bread. I've made waffles with sourdough starter and it turned out so good I was so surprised. It is the chewiest waffle that I've ever had, and I think the credit goes to my active sourdough starter. For dinner, I'm making an eggplant dish that I like to cook with ground beef. It is very easy and simple to make. I cook this dish a lot, especially during summer and fall when eggplants are in season. I'll put the recipe down in the description below. I cook beef first in the pan, then I sauté the eggplants and green onions. I also add onions and garlic when I have them. And I add about a cup of water, and for the seasoning, I add a spoonful of gochujang, which is red pepper paste with other spices in it. It's a staple in Korean cuisine. And I add about half a spoonful of miso and a spoonful of sugar. Then I let it all shimmer on low to medium heat until it's cooked. And voila, it is absolutely delicious on rice. And it is very filling. At this time of year, I get very excited to finally move my body and do things outside, trying to accomplish all the projects that have been long due during the cold winter. But I think it is still important to remind myself to find value in slowness as the winter has taught me. In the place of slowness, there's a bottom carved out for things to finally settle and sit down. I watch as the winding petals dance through the invisible changes of air. There's no pressure to start or finish. And I'm grateful to close my eyes and let the gentle morning sun sift through the crevices of this moment. All this as I feel the bumps in my forehead, the dirt in my fingertips and my toes, while the whole world shifts.